Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome, everybody. I hope you are all fine. This is another online lecture. It will be a recorded video that you are going to watch. It's another lecture on global professional practice and professional practice. We were already discussing about the software engineering code of ethics. We have had the understanding of very important terminology in this subject like morals, ethics, values. We had some examples of morals and values. We had some citations from the Holy Quran, the Hadith, and then another important thing that we watched was the input from the Constitution of Pakistan. We have to understand that as well. Then after that, we had the discussion regarding what is a code of ethics. And in that discussion, we saw that the code of ethics for every profession are formulated by some international organizations or some local national organizations. Like, for example, the doctors have their professional ethics coming from the medical councils, and the lawyers have their own union of jurists and lawyers. The journalists have their union of journalists, like Pakistan has the Federal uh, Pakistan Union of Journalists, FPUJ something. Now, the software engineers all over the world, they have their code of ethics formulated by a uh, very well-known organization. It's IEEE. The IEEE, in collaboration with ACM, the American Computing Machinery, they formulated a joint task force, and the objective of formulating the task force was that the task force will find out or chalk out the code of ethics for the software engineers. At least for America, they had done that, but all over the world, different countries are adapting to that code of ethics formulated by the IEEE and ACM Joint Task Force. We had the discussion about the code of ethics, and so far we have discussed the two out of eight foundation principles of the code of ethics, and the ones that we studied up till the previous lecture, they were the foundation principle number one, public, and then foundation principle number two, client and employer. Now, what are we going to discuss in today's lecture? In this first part of the video lecture, we are going to discuss about the products, management, and judgment. So to say, we're going to discuss how much of the ethics of a professional, software engineering professional, they are tilted towards the product that they make and the management that they do around their team, their organization, and a part of the management is judgment as well. So, how much ethics is put into the judgment? Now, first, we are in a process of understanding code of ethics, but pretty soon we are going to test our knowledge by finding out whether or not the code of ethics is totally implemented in our professions. And by studying a few case studies, we are going to check that out. Those case studies will be some real life examples, and we'll find out in which way the professionals involved in those case studies, they exercised the ethics that they were taught. Now, product management and judgment is one of the areas where the ethics of the professional are tested to the maximum. So I want you people to take a particular interest, watch very closely, try to understand the words that are spoken here, try to understand the basic concept behind them, and remember them when we are going to discuss the case studies. They will be recalled. So let's move on to the first of these three out of the eight principles of code of ethics. First one is the product. First, we have to understand why we are discussing products and why we are trying to discuss that we owe some ethics towards the products. The professionals are expected to technically show their caliber, show their skills in making the products, the software products. They're also expected to exercise ethics because the products are going to be used by humans. The customers are the humans, and by means of your product, you can represent the ethics that you hold and that you are required to hold. So you have to use your expertise and your skills, the technical one as well as the ethical ones, just as a blend of a mix of both of them equally. That is because the software product that you will develop will represent you, and the ethics that you have, they should be poured into the production of the software. So that is the first of the objectives, to utilize maximum skill and expertise to develop your software and to ensure that your products that you have made, they are very easy to use for the customer. They're customer friendly, user friendly. They are very much safe in all respects. They are safe into the physical extents. They are safe to the spiritual or the emotional extents. We've already discussed that in a previous lecture. And they also meet all the legal requirements of the place where those software products will be used. If they are going to be used within Pakistan, then they have to meet the Pakistani legal requirements, ethical requirements as well. But if they are to be used in some Western country like USA or Europe or Canada, then they are supposed to meet the legal requirements of not Pakistan, rather, they are going to meet the legal requirements of the place where they are going to be installed and used. And we all pretty much know that there are legal aspects which are different in one country and they are different in another country. Similarly, the ethical or the cultural requirements of one country, they may be different from another country or another group of countries. So we have to ensure that our products are meeting the safety requirements. They are convenient to use, easy to use, and they have their ethical backing. And we also have to make sure that the products meet some local or some international standards. We are going to talk about that pretty soon. Now, there are about 10, 15 points that we need to understand regarding our ethics towards the products. Like the first one, we have to make sure that whenever we are making a software, whether it is a small software or it's a big software that is going to run in corporates, in multinationals, wherever we are doing that, we follow proper specifications. Now, what are software specifications? Software specifications are the requirements of a particular nature. We all know, whilst our study of software engineering, we have seen that there are proper phases. One out of the phases is the requirements gathering. And inside the requirements gathering, we are totally connected to the customer. We are asking about their needs, their wishes, how they want their software to be executed, how they want it to be convenient to them. Now, out of those requirements, there have to be some requirements. कुछ ऐसी requirements लाजमी होंगी जिनके अंदर कोई ना कोई quantities होंगी, like amount of data, size of data, and we might also listen to the words like throughput and the recovery time. There are a number of numbers, quantities which are going into the statements of the requirements. So we have to follow the most adequate of the specifications. Specifications are those kinds of requirements which carry the need of some numbers or amounts or quantities. Now, this proper field requires very careful estimation, because when you are in the process of planning the project or in the process of getting an approval for your project, then at that time actually you didn't haven't conducted any practical work as yet about the project. So you have to have a clear vision as to what the quantities will be, how these quantities will be affected, and how they are going to affect the project. So based on your experience, आपको अपने एक्सपीरियंस तजर्बे की बेस पे ये अंदाजा लगाना है कि वो क्वांटिटीज क्या होंगी और किस नेचर की होंगी. तो you have to make estimates. They're not just rough estimates, they are fully calculated, computed and worked out estimates. इस फील्ड को आप ऑलरेडी जानते हैं, सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियरिंग में स्पेक्सटीमेट्स कहते हैं, यानी स्पेसिफिकेशंस के एस्टिमेट्स. अब इन एस्टिमेट्स में वो एस्टिमेट्स भी शामिल हो जाते हैं, लाइक कि जो सॉफ्टवेयर है उसका साइज क्या होगा इन टर्म्स ऑफ नंबर, इन टर्म्स ऑफ इट्स वॉल्यूम. फिर इन स्पेसिफिकेशंस में, इन एस्टिमेट्स में इनफैक्ट ये भी शामिल हो जाता है कि सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपमेंट एफर्ट कितना होगा. जो लोग सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपमेंट टीम का हिस्सा हैं तो उनसे कितना कितना एफर्ट हमने लेना है, और वो एफर्ट बाद में हमने उसको बिल करना है टू द कस्टमर, या कस्टमर से हमने उस एफर्ट के अगेंस्ट कुछ पेमेंट लेनी है. तो हमें ऑलरेडी पता होना चाहिए कि वो एफर्ट कितना है, उसको कैसे मेजर करना है. तो जिन लोगों ने प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट पढ़ा होता है दे नो कि हम कोकोमो का जो मॉडल है उसके जरिए, और फिर हम फंक्शन साइजिंग के जो मॉडल्स हैं उनके जरिए असेस करते हैं कि प्रोजेक्ट का वॉल्यूम कितना होना है. और कोकोमो ही हमें बता देता है कि हम अपनी टीम से एफर्ट कितना रिक्वायर करेंगे इन टर्म्स ऑफ मैन मंथ्स और पर्सन मंथ्स. So we have to make sure that these estimates and the specification estimates are met to the very maximum accuracy. Number two, understand specifications fully. That goes with the point one as well. The people should be well aware that the specifications are important, and more than that, they should also be aware as to what these specifications should be, how to gather those specifications, and how to compute or how to estimate these specifications. At number three, ensure you are suitably qualified. Now, that is something that the person, the professional in this field has to do themselves. The people are hired after some selection process, interviews, tests, or some tasks to be achieved and to be checked. But the actual decision about the qualification of a person or a suitability of a person about a job is the responsibility of that person themselves. That is an ethical requirement. So you have to make sure that whatever work you are going to do in this line of the software, whether you are a requirements analyst, whether you are a simple analyst or a designer or a developer or a tester, or you are a project manager, you have to assess by yourself. It's your ethical duty towards your customer, and more than that, towards your product. Whether you are fit enough, you are capable enough to work for that product. Okay. Ensure all goals are achievable. Now, this is very important. When you are a project manager, you set goals for your team. You set your goals for yourself as well. Now, you have to make sure that these goals or the assignments that you assign to your team, they are technically, humanly possible. Don't set some impossible objectives or goals in front of you that even if you cannot do it yourself, you must consider that maybe your team cannot do that. Now, more of technical, it is an issue of capacity, capability, and the availability of time. Most of all, the goals are set based on the time frames, whether in a particular time frame the goal can be achieved or not. क्या आप जो गोल सेट आपने किया है वो एक पर्टिकुलर लिमिटेड टाइम में अचीव हो सकता है कि नहीं. फिर आपको ये भी देखना होता है कि क्या उसके अंदर जो रिसोर्सेज इस्तेमाल होंगे, आर दे available, will they be available or not. And then the person who is going to perform or who is going to achieve that part of the goal, is that person fully capable? Are we not putting extra amount of burden on them? We have to make sure, we have to justify. Otherwise, the end result, the product will not be perfect. Okay, now the next thing is ensure use of proper methodology. Proper methodology, whatever particular method or procedure that you are performing, it should be known, it should be a standard methodology. And the people working with you, your teammates, they should already be aware of that methodology. They should already be well experienced in that methodology. So always try to use that methodology which is more suitable, which is more standard, which is more known to the people. Ensure good project management. Now, that is a simple trait that project managers have to follow. The project management is a subclass of management, and we very well know that the project management involves a better planning of the project, a better set of estimates about the project, a proper schedule for all the events and activities to be performed in the project. And it also includes the time to time milestone checking, whether the milestones that were achieved, they were up to the requirements. So you have to monitor, and if there are things going wrong, then you have to control them, you have to rectify them. That is the best project management that we can suggest. Ensure all estimates are realistic. Now, that goes once again with the first and the second of the points in this products. You have to make sure that the estimates that you perform about specifications or about anything, any quantities involved in software development and project management, and also in quality assurance, they are realistic. They are from the real world. They are not idealistic from the book, because the items or specifications in the books are just for the sake of examples, but in reality those examples might be deviating, and the values might be deviating from the ideal ones. So you have to make sure that all the quantities, all the estimates, they come within the realistic range. That means that they can be achieved. Anything which cannot be achieved, कोई भी ऐसी चीज जो अचीव ना हो सकती हो, वो एक तलिस्माती या एक तस्वुराती अगर कोई एक ऑब्जेक्टिव हो, तो उसे हम रियलिस्टिक दुनिया में, रियल वर्ल्ड में अचीव नहीं कर पाते. So you have to make sure that you have to live in the world, and you have to cover the world environment. It should be realistic. Ensure adequate documentation. There has been a lot of emphasis regarding documentation. in all the subjects that you have done, like in software engineering, in the software development life cycle, there is a very big importance of documentation. Documentation is for the purpose of history, for the purpose of references, for the purpose of future understanding of the software. Whenever you need to have an extension in your software, or you want to have a revamp of your software, you will need to have the document of the existing system. So why make hard work at the time of the need? Why not do that pinch by pinch, bit by bit during your software development life cycle? You can make a lot of documents that are required technically. You can make a lot of documents which are required by the customer, and others that will serve as a future reference. For example, there are a lot of reports that go into the folder of the documents or the repository, like the data modeling, the entity relationship, the data flow modeling, and then you come up with the class diagrams in the object sequence diagrams. And as far as the project management is concerned, you make some schedules, and you need to have them as a reference for the future. Maybe you want to make changes to them, then you need to have those documentations. And as far as the customers are concerned, the customer need to have a user manual or a user reference manual. So they are also documents, and they go into the repository of the documentations. Ensure adequate testing and debugging whilst you are developing the software. You have to make sure that all possible errors, all possible faults, defects are identified and removed. Now, the testing and debugging is the technical process in which you hunt for the defects in the system. You actually gather the requirements and you compare the requirements with the running software, whether the software is able to fulfill those requirements. And if it isn't, then if there is some deficiency and some defect, you hunt for that defect and you try to get it removed. Try to get it fixed. So your ethical responsibility towards your product will be that you have made all the possible efforts in testing and debugging, removing the bugs, the defects from the product. Promote privacy of individuals. You have to make sure that the product is it will be executed in the user environment. So it will be fetching all sorts of data and information. तो you have to make sure, आपको ये make sure करना है कि आपका प्रोडक्ट सॉफ्टवेयर डेटा को प्रॉपर तरीके से कलेक्ट करने की कैपेबिलिटी रखता हो और उसे प्रोटेक्ट या सिक्योर रखने की भी कैपेबिलिटी रखता हो. तो ये हम ऑलरेडी काफी सारे कंटेम्प्रेरी इश्यूज में, लाइक प्राइवेसी में, उसके अलावा सेफ्टी एंड सिक्योरिटी में, हम इसको ऑलरेडी काफी डिस्कस कर चुके हैं. यूज डेटा लेजिटिमेटली. जो डेटा आपके पास अवेलेबल होता है ड्यूरिंग द रिक्वायरमेंट्स फेज और एनी अदर फेज रिगार्डिंग द कस्टमर एंड रिगार्डिंग द कस्टमर ऑफ द कस्टमर, आपको उसे लेजिटिमेट तरीके से अपने पास रखना है. आप उसे कोई इलीगल तरीके से कहीं पे सेल कर दें या इलीगल तरीके से किसी थर्ड पार्टी तक वो डेटा पहुंचा दें, ये मुनासिब नहीं है, लीगली भी मुनासिब नहीं है और एथिकली भी. डिलीट आउटडेटेड एंड फ्लॉड डेटा, ये एक प्रिंसिपल रिक्वायरमेंट है कि वो डेटा जिसकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को जरूरत ना हो उसे प्रॉपर तरीके से डिस्पोज करना चाहिए. खासतौर पे वो डेटा जिसमें कोई फ्लॉज हो, क्योंकि डेटा को कलेक्ट करते वक्त उसमें कोई ना कोई फ्लॉज ऐड हो सकते हैं और फ्यूचर में फ्लॉड डेटा फ्लॉड डिसीजंस का बायस बन सकता है. तो ऐसे डेटा को प्रॉपर तरीके से डिस्पोज या डिलीट कर देना चाहिए, या अगर आपने उसको महफूज रखना ही है तो ऐसे महफूज रखें कि वो गलती से यूजेबल ना हो सके. आइडेंटिफाई एंड एड्रेस कंटेंशियस इश्यूज, ये आपको ज़हन में रखना है कि प्रोडक्ट से रिलेटेड अगर लोगों के अंदर कोई कंटेंशन है, कोई डिसएग्रीमेंट्स हैं, तो उनको वक्त आने से पहले ही आइडेंटिफाई और उनको रिजॉल्व कर लेना चाहिए. प्रमोट मैक्सिमम क्वालिटी एंड मिनिमम कॉस्ट, दैट इज फॉर द सेक ऑफ द कस्टमर, दैट आप उसके अंदर मैक्सिमम जो क्वालिटी अचीव करते हैं, कोशिश आपकी ये होनी चाहिए कि उसमें उसमें कस्टमर की कॉस्ट जरा कम आए और नतीजतन रिजल्टिंग ये होगा कि जो प्रोडक्ट है उसकी कॉस्टिंग भी वो मिनिमम होगी। ये हमारी एथिकल एक रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है जो हमें पूरा करनी चाहिए। फॉलो अप्रोप्रिएट इंडस्ट्री स्टैंडर्ड्स। इंडस्ट्री में बहुत सारे स्टैंडर्ड्स हैं सॉफ्टवेयर इंडस्ट्री में, लाइक ISO के स्टैंडर्ड्स हैं, IEEE के स्टैंडर्ड्स हैं, EEC के स्टैंडर्ड्स हैं, OASIS which stands for Organizations for Advancements of Structured Information Systems। इसके अलावा BSI स्टैंडर्ड्स हैं, BSI स्टैंडर्ड्स ब्रिटिश स्टैंडर्ड्स होते हैं। इसके अलावा यू हैव फ्रेमवर्क ऑफ organizational development known as CMM, the capability maturity model। There are a lot of companies which are certified to be CMM compliant। हमारे मुल्क में चंद एक कंपनीज हैं, लेकिन सॉफ्टवेयर कंपनीज में सबसे ज्यादा जिसका नाम लिया जाता है वो नेटसोल है। दे आर वेल अहेड अराउंड अबाउट 5th level of CMM। तो दिस इज योर एथिकल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी। आप अगर आप ISO के स्टैंडर्ड्स की बात करते हैं इंडस्ट्री से रिलेटेड, तो ISO 9001 है, ISO 90003 है, ISO 25000 सीरीज है। ये सब के सब सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपमेंट प्रोसेसेस, सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलप प्रोडक्ट्स और प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट से रिलेटेड आपको ISO के स्टैंडर्ड्स प्रोवाइड किए जाते हैं, जिनको एक गाइडलाइन के तौर पे यू कैन फॉलो। And you also have IEEE standards such as IEEE 12207। and इंशाल्लाह कोई मुनासिब मौका पे हम इस स्टैंडर्ड्स को भी थोड़ा बहुत डिस्कस करेंगे। The fourth principle is regarding judgment, and it is very easy to understand। People should be capable of doing judgment। जजमेंट को आप उर्दू में कहते हैं इंसाफ करना या जस्टिस जिस तरह से होता है, और अदल से काम लेना चाहिए। अदल का मतलब ये होता है कि आप किसी के साथ अगर फेवर कर रहे हैं तो दूसरे जो पार्टी है उसके साथ भी कोई ना कोई फेवर होनी चाहिए, और अगर आप किसी एक के साथ फेवर नहीं कर रहे, स्ट्रिक्ट रहना है, तो दूसरे के साथ भी आपको स्ट्रिक्ट रहना है। दिस इज नोन एज फेयरनेस और अदल। ऑब्जर्व ओबीडियंस टू योर फेथ, योर रिलीजन, the law of the country and to the ethics। That is the basic objective of doing judgment, and also judgment towards customers, judgment, better judgment towards your employees, subordinates, and towards your employers as well। अब इसमें हम जल्दी से डिस्कस करते हैं। मेन चीजें हमें अक्सर खुद भी पता होती हैं। मेंटेन प्रोफेशनल ऑब्जेक्टिविटी। यू हैव टू बी सीरियस इन योर प्रोफेशन। You have to set your objectivity that if you are in this profession, then what do you want to do? What do you want to achieve? You have to make your mind clear about your objectivity। Only sign documents within your responsibility। आप हमेशा सिर्फ उन्हीं डॉक्यूमेंट्स को केयर करें कि जो आपकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी में आती हैं। अदर देन दैट, अगर कोई चीज आपकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी के एरिया में नहीं है तो उन डॉक्यूमेंट्स की तरफ नहीं जाना चाहिए, ना ही उन्हें कभी अप्रूव करना चाहिए, क्योंकि आप उनके मुतालिक कुछ नहीं जानते। रिजेक्ट ब्राइबरी, ये बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है। ब्राइबरी, रिश्वत, ये जरूरी नहीं होता कि ये रिश्वत जो है वो रुपए पैसे के साथ ही हो। ये गिफ्ट्स की शक्ल में ये भी हो सकती है। अब हमारे लिए ये जरूरी है कि हम अगर एक रिस्पॉन्सिबल पोस्ट पे किसी एम्प्लॉयर के लिए काम कर रहे हैं, तो हो सकता है उसके कंपेटिटर्स या उस कंपनी के अंदर कई लोग वो अपने कोई फायदे अचीव करना चाहें जो डायरेक्टली उन्हें अचीव होते हुए मुश्किल नजर आते हो। तो फिर ऐसी सूरत में दे रिजॉर्ट टू ब्राइब्स टू द पीपल हु आर रिस्पॉन्सिबली वर्किंग इन द एनवायरनमेंट। जिस तरह प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर है, तो प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर के इर्द गिर्द कई लोग शायद आके तो उससे कोई फेवर्स लेना चाहें, इलीगल फेवर्स लेना चाहें फ्रॉम द सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपमेंट प्रोसेस, एंड दे ऑफर मे बी ऑफर ब्राइबरी इन रिटर्न, लाइक पैसे के जरिए या कोई गिफ्ट्स के जरिए या किसी और कोई फेवर्स के जरिए। सो वी शुड नॉट बी गोइंग फॉर सच काइंड ऑफ, दिस इज illegal as well as totally unethical। डू नॉट एक्सेप्ट सीक्रेट पेमेंट्स फ्रॉम द क्लाइंट। किसी भी क्लाइंट से आप कोई ये कॉरस्पॉन्ड करता है किसी किस्म का कोई ब्लैकमेल। सीक्रेट पेमेंट्स नॉर्मली ब्लैकमेल्स होते हैं, लेकिन समटाइम्स ऐसा भी होता है कि जो कस्टमर है वो आपसे कोई इलीगल या कोई अनएथिकल सॉफ्टवेयर बनाने के लिए आपको पेमेंट्स करता है और उसे रिकॉर्ड पे नहीं लाना चाहता। अगर वो रिकॉर्ड पे आ जाए तो फिर हो सकता है कोई रेवेन्यू डिपार्टमेंट या टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट उस ट्रांजैक्शन को आइडेंटिफाई करके तो उसे टैक्स डिमांड करें या कोई और, क्योंकि अक्सर लोग टैक्स इवेशन के लिए सीक्रेट पेमेंट्स के तरीके पे भी चलते हैं। एक्सेप्ट पेमेंट फ्रॉम वन सोर्स ओनली ऑन द जॉब, ये बेहतर होता है कि आप जॉब से एक ही सोर्स के साथ जो है वो सैलरी लें। अदरवाइज अगर आप मुख्तलिफ लोगों से सैलरी ले रहे होंगे तो फिर आप मुख्तलिफ लोगों की बातें मानने पर मजबूर हैं। डिस्क्लोज कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स ऑफ इंटरेस्ट, अगर किसी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में मुख्तलिफ लोगों के इंटरेस्ट का कोई आपस में कोलिजन हो, यानी कोई एक किस्म का कोई इंटरेस्ट चाहता है, मफाद चाहता है, और दूसरा जो है वो उससे बिल्कुल ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन में किसी किस्म का मफाद लेना चाहता है, तो दिस विल बी नोन एज द कॉन्फ्लिक्ट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट। तो अगर आपका इंटरेस्ट अपनी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन या ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के लोगों से डिफरेंट है, you must come out with it. You must tell the people that you have some differences of opinion, you have some differences of objective vested in it. Avoid conflicting financial interests. ऐसे फाइनेंशियल ट्रांजैक्शंस जो एक दूसरे को टैली ना होते हों उनको अवॉइड करना चाहिए। टेम्पर टेक्नोलॉजी जजमेंट्स विद एथिक्स। टेक्नोलॉजी ऑल दो बहुत ही श्रूड होती है, वो ये नहीं देखती कि इंसानी एहसासात क्या है, लेकिन एथिकल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है प्रोफेशनल की कि वो टेक्नोलॉजी से रिलेटेड जितनी भी कुछ जजमेंट्स होती हैं, जितने भी कुछ फैसले करने होते हैं, उनमें एथिक्स का दामन हाथ से ना छोड़े। Then at the last is the principle number 5, management, at least in this video lecture. The objective is to apply good management procedures. You have to understand how good management can be done. Management involves the processes of planning, scheduling, estimating, performing, monitoring, and controlling, and then proper closure of everything. So you must understand कि ये processes क्या हैं और इनकी ethical requirement क्या है. So during your process of management, you have to exhibit, you have to show the maximum of ethics that are possible. You must understand that you owe a lot to your organizer, your employer, and you also have to owe a lot to your peers, the people who are working under you, who are under your management. So you have to find a balance in between. We will very quickly read that out. Management assure relevant standards are known by employees. We've already talked about standards. So you have to make sure that you understand these standards yourself and the team around you, your employees or your teammates, they also understand these standards and they are ready to work for the achievement of these standards. Assure knowledge of confidentiality protocols. You must understand that the customer and your colleagues as well. कस्टमर हम ऑलरेडी डिस्कस कर चुके हैं, लेकिन आपके जो कलीग्स हैं जिनको आप मैनेज करते हैं उनसे रिलेटेड जो कोई डेटा होता है या उनकी कोई प्राइवेसी होती है, तो they have the complete rights to have the confidentiality of that. So you better not indulge into prying or peeking of matters of your team, the people who are under your management. उनसे मुतल्लिक कोई राज आप जानने की कोशिश कर रहे हो कि ये क्या है, इनके मुतल्लिक कोई मालूमात हासिल करना चाहिए जिसकी के प्रोफेशन में जरूरत भी नहीं है, तो इस चीज से बचना चाहिए. असाइन वर्क अकॉर्डिंग टू कॉम्पिटेंस. आप अपनी टीम में अपनी टीम की काबिलियत के मुताबिक काम असाइन करें. Provide due process for code violations. Now it will happen that the people working around you, for you, they might be making violations of the code of ethics. उन पे कोई ना कोई इल्जाम लग सकता है कि जी उन्होंने कोड ऑफ एथिक्स को फॉलो नहीं किया, ब्रीच किया है. तो अब इसका ये मतलब नहीं कि ये इल्जाम सुनते ही उन्हें कान से पकड़ के बाहर निकाल दें। इट डज नॉट हैपन। अगर कोई अनएथिकल है भी तो उसको ट्रीट करने का भी एथिकल तरीका है। आप एक ड्यू प्रोसेस चलाएं जिसके जरिए फाइंड आउट करें कि क्या वाकई जो किसी पे इल्जाम लगाया गया है वो ट्रूथ की बेस पे है, कहीं उसमें कोई बायस या कोई एक्यूजेशन, जिस तरह जनरल एक्यूजेशंस होती हैं ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में, तो कोई इल्जाम के जरिए किसी को नीचा दिखाने की कोशिश तो नहीं की जा रही। डेवलप फेयर ओनरशिप एग्रीमेंट्स, एक्यूरेटली डिस्क्राइब कंडीशंस ऑफ एम्प्लॉयमेंट। जिस वक्त आप अपनी कंट्रोल में कोई एम्प्लॉय को हायर करते हैं या आप अपनी टीम में किसी को शामिल करते हैं, तो इट शुड बी कि आप प्रॉपर तरीके से उसे एम्प्लॉयमेंट की कंडीशंस बताएं। हर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में एम्प्लॉयमेंट की कंडीशंस या एम्प्लॉयमेंट के प्रोसीजर्स, एसओपीज वगैरह होते हैं। तो हो सकता है वो हर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में डिफरेंट हो। तो जिस जगह पे आप काम करते हैं वहां पे आप किसी को अगर एम्प्लॉय के तौर पे लाना चाह रहे हैं तो उससे पहले अच्छी तरह से वो टर्म्स एंड कंडीशंस बताएं ताकि कोई भी चीज उसके नॉलेज से बाहर ना रहे। ऑफर ओनली फेयर एंड जस्ट रिमनरेशन। रिमनरेशन कहते हैं उजरत को, मुआवजे को। सैलरीज हैं लाइक, या अगर आप किसी को कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बेसिस पे हायर करते हैं तो वो उजरत पर आवर या पर डे या पर वीक जो तय होती है वो प्रॉपर होनी चाहिए, उसमें किसी के साथ बेइंसाफी नहीं होनी चाहिए। डू नॉट प्रिवेंट सबॉर्डिनेट्स प्रमोशन। अगर आप फील करते हैं कि आपके सबॉर्डिनेट्स में से किसी की प्रमोशन ड्यू है, वो पूरी तरह से डिजर्व करता है, तो उसकी प्रमोशन की राह में हायल नहीं होना चाहिए, चाहे वो प्रमोट होके आपका पीयर, आपके इक्विवेलेंट ही क्यों नहीं बनना उसने। You must appreciate the work and efforts done by your team. So, as a manager, it's your responsibility not to stop the chances or of the deserved people जिनको के किसी किस्म की promotion या हाइक की एक जरूरत है। Do not ask a person to breach this code. This is very important. जो कोड आपके सामने कोड ऑफ एथिक्स की शक्ल में रखा गया है और खास तौर पे मैनेजमेंट के मुतालिक जो हम बात कर रहे हैं, इसके मुतालिक किसी को ये फरमाइश करना या किसी से दरख्वास्त करना कि वो इसका पार्शली या टोटली कोई वायलेशन करे, यानी कोई एथिक्स को ब्रेक करे फॉर सम पर्टिकुलर नीड, आप अपनी किसी मकसद को पूरा करने के लिए चाहते हैं कि दूसरे एथिक्स को ब्रेक करें, तो दिस शुड नॉट हैपन। बिल्कुल उसी तरह जिस तरह आप नहीं चाहेंगे कि आप किसी के कहने पे कोड ऑफ एथिक्स को या ओवरऑल जो एथिक्स होते हैं वर्क प्लेस पे उन्हें किसी तरीके से आप वायलेट करें। So that will be the discussion regarding the three important principles from the foundation of code of ethics. We talked about product, we talked about management, we talked about the judgment. So I sincerely believe that just by reading you can understand a lot of requirements, ethical requirements regarding the product, the management and judgment. But I believe after the completion of this video lecture you will be well ahead in your knowledge. You will be understanding how the product is important. Technically the product should be sound, but there is a lot of ethics going into the product because that product is going to represent you in front of the customer or the users. Similarly, when you are working on the project, you are managing a team. Now your team deserves a lot of attention. They need a lot of affection from your side, and it's a modern trait that the managers, they manage by leading the people. They lead the people by examples, good examples. Now the judgment is also very much a requirement. You have to be very fair in your decisions. You have to do justice in your decisions, and that is not also technical, it's also ethical requirement. As far as a profession, the professional is not working alone. There are other professionals alongside working. So you better be doing good judgment so that you expect good judgment in return. That will be all for today's video one discussion. I urge you to watch this video closely again and again. But if you do have some queries or questions, we will be addressing those questions in the interactive session on Thursday. And be ready with your questions, your queries, or your confusions, or anything that you have to say about the code of ethics. In the next video, which will be coming in a few minutes for you, we will be discussing more of the 8 foundation principles of code of ethics. We are going to talk about our colleagues, we are going to talk about our profession, and we are going to talk about ourselves. We are human beings, and as much as we are giving away ethics to our colleagues and to other people around, we are also expecting that we have ethics towards us. But more than that, we must understand that the best ethics that we can expect is not from others, it is from ourselves. So, hopefully, inshallah, you've enjoyed and understood very well the discussion as much as I have enjoyed in trying to present it to you. Next time, inshallah, दोबारा मुलाकात होगी आप सबसे. Allah Hafiz. Take care, everybody.